All right, we ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. That was nice and tight, boys.
Thank you.
That was nice and tight.
Wow, it's such an honor.
Welcome in, $1 Million Radio, episode 12. We've made it this far.
Somehow.
There's only
It was
farther to go.
It was only a limited amount of time before the streak was broken.
What streak? Oh, dang it! You're right. I didn't even think about that.
It was bound to happen. We were bound to cross this road when we got here. Cross the bridge.
So we did the pod last week. Tennessee suffered their first loss of the pod week.
This is uncharted territory. This is
It's never
waters.
happened before.
This is waters we've not ever crossed
We're like George Washington going over the Delaware
on
right
Christmas
now.
Day.
Yeah. This is strange. We're doing a pod coming off a loss.
We don't do that often.
Not very.
It's usually a new week. You know, we've lost and come back, but we never did it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just speechless.
First time of the season we've done the pod and then lost that game. Fell to Georgia 31-17. By the way, welcome back, Griffin Watts.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah.
Griffin's back.
From take your sweet ass time medical.
Dude, not only that, but...
You didn't have no Denny's yesterday?
No, thank God. And that Denny's was in Texas, so...
Oh, okay.
Shout out Texas.
Curse that Denny's.
When you were in Dallas, did you go on the Joe Rogan podcast, didn't you?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Dang, I thought you did.
That would have actually been huge for our podcast. So maybe next time do some networking while you're down there.
I got you. But it was pretty crazy. The Saturday I was down there, I saw probably 150 Eagles fans somehow.
Were the Eagles, they were playing in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Wow. 150. Wow. That's crazy.
Eagles fans always travel well. Packers fans, Steelers fans.
Yeah.
You know, all traveled pretty well. There were a lot more Titans fans at the Miami game that I went to a few weeks ago than I thought there would be.
Oh, really?
I was in a section where there were no Titans fans, but there were quite a few of them throughout the stadium.
The arena. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we're glad you're back.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back, but we're in some unfortunate territory this week.
Yeah.
Tennessee falls to Georgia 31-17. Okay, so that just makes the whole picture for the SEC championship so much more complicated.
Yeah.
And it does it.
You wanted chaos? Here you go.
Yes. I was telling Skylar in the chat, I was like, you cannot write this better, if I'm being honest. Each team has beaten each other. You know, every team's going to have like 2 losses and 6 wins. Like, it's going to be madness come, when they have to do the standings for the SEC championship title game. And basically the whole college football playoff is going to be set on fire.
Yeah. We did fall to Georgia. 14 points was the deficit.
So if you took Georgia for the over, like to cover the spread.
The spread, yeah. So like we said last week, I wasn't too necessarily confident. I wasn't like underconfident, but the situation, like I said, I felt like I've seen that movie before.
Yeah.
Going into it, big game in Athens. Georgia just lost. They also hadn't had a home game. I didn't realize this. They hadn't had a home game in like 37 days.
Wow.
They had a bye week worked in the middle of like 2 or 3 road games. And so we've been playing at home for 4 or 5 weeks.
The opposite.
Yeah, they've been on the road for that amount of time. We meet up in Athens. They were pissed off. Line was 9.5, 10.5, depending on when you got it. And all the money was on Tennessee.
Yeah, like to at least keep it in the spread,
Yeah, all the money was on Tennessee to cover 9.5. Looked good the whole game, honestly.
First half especially.
Oh, yeah.
Especially. We came out looking like a top 5 team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't stop us on that drive.
I had some family that came to eat at work that night, and we watched the first half together pretty much. And I told my uncle, I was like, I just know Kirby Smart is going to make some halftime adjustments and shut us down. And we didn't score in the second half.
If that tells you.
Yeah. So it was 17-17 at halftime. We were up 10-0 at one point at the end of the first quarter. and then they scored beginning of the second. And from there on, like I just didn't think that we had any momentum.
Yeah.
And eventually, Dylan Sampson broke a 20, 30-yard run for a touchdown.
He's a dog.
Did y'all see that piece where he went to South Africa over the summer?
Yeah,
He did that. He did that move.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what I know. That's such a hard bar.
That is so cool. That's so cool. Yeah.
But
he's the real deal.
So we went up 17-14 at that point, didn't score the rest of the game, and Georgia put on 17 unanswered points.
14.
Yeah.
Or I guess, 17. Yeah. Yep.
But kicked a field goal right at the half. And then they just shut us down. Second half, we had no momentum. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot, man. There were some missed calls.
Oh, yeah.
The officiating. I'm not one to like blame refs either.
Me neither.
I hate doing that.
See,
I hate when people do that.
I was going to make a statement, though.
Go ahead. That's what this podcast is for.
A bunch of games have seemed fishy officiating-wise last couple weeks. NFL and college.
Fishy is a good way to put it.
Suspect.
Sus.
Yeah.
Because I know you've remembered for years it's you take 2 steps and you have possession of the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I did not get that, man.
They said he did not complete the catch, which is kind of the same thing that happened with the Des Bryant catch in a way. But you take 2 steps and then he didn't have it all the way tucked, but you don't have to have the ball tucked.
You could have one
catch it.
You could have one hand grabbing it. I mean, could you run with it with one hand? Is that
he had firm possession in my eyes.
Yes.
Took 2 steps, was going to tuck. Ball came out.
Is that not a football move? I mean,
That's
am I
football.
mistaken?
I think going for a tuck is a football move.
And taking steps with the ball in your control.
Yeah.
You're that is the definition of control when you are in control of trying to tuck it.
Yeah.
As a Packers fan, I texted Jacob, or I guess it was the group, and I was like, if we could have got that fumble, I would admit that Des Bryant caught the ball. So didn't happen.
Yeah,
so I don't have to. But and
man,
they didn't even review it, dude.
that was crazy.
They
to
didn't
me.
review it. They
Yet
didn't
they
stop to play.
review a
12 men,
on the
yeah.
field
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, that was
And
that was
somehow
wild.
the booth can call penalties now.
Well, that is a reviewable offense.
That's fair. That's fair.
That has always been a thing, but also, man, like we shouldn't have been put in that situation. You have, whenever an offense makes a late substitution, they give you time to make a defensive substitution.
Yeah.
We sent the first guy off. He started jogging off all slow. And then a few seconds later, they sent the second guy off. And they don't have to, like, give you all the time in the world to get off the field. You saw they gave the first guy enough time to get off the field. Referee went back away from the center saying, live ball, you can snap it. And Jackson Moy was still just doing this little number,
He's walking.
wait. And then you start seeing, after the ref leaves, you start seeing people on the sideline like, hey, for real, come on.
Yeah.
And that's when he turned it on. But at that point, it's too late. And we've seen before, even this season, where we do that and milk the clock enough where the offense has to take a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to do.
Isn't that a delay a game on defense? If we were to
Not necessarily, no.
Really? I guess
No.
I just don't understand the rule then. I get the 12 man. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They've called delay of game on defenses. I thought that was what it was for. If they take too long on substitution, they delay their ability to be able to start before the game clock.
The rule is the offense has to give the defense enough time to make a substitution when they do a late substitution after, the huddle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever that happens, you have to give the defense enough time to make that substitution, which they did with the first guy. But since Jackson Moy took his time to get off the field, they were like, no, this is too much. The first guy got off the field, substitution is good. Let's, resume play.
Yeah.
And
I'm not even mad about the 12 man on the field call. Like, that's one thing, because that's one thing. But it was the face.
Oh, the face mask. Yeah.
The phantom face mask.
Yeah.
And then hey, I'm going to grab the ball, take 2 steps, and try to tuck it. Incomplete pass.
Yeah.
In quotes. That really got me. 12 man on the field. That is.
And
what
also,
it is,
also the 12 men on the field led to a touchdown. Georgia might have scored a touchdown anyways, but no matter how it happened, anytime it seemed anytime they got to a third down on offense, Georgia did. They had some way to get the first down. Call it third and whatever. Give it to them.
Wasn't it like first and or maybe second and like 20 something on the face mask, the phantom face mask?
Yeah. It could have been third down actually.
It was
I
ridiculous.
think it was second.
It was ridiculous.
But it was crazy. If his helmet doesn't come off, they would not have called the face mask. Yeah. They only called the face mask because they thought that his helmet came off. They must have ripped it off. That's not how it happened. Is
that a new strategy that teams are going to start pulling, loosening your face mask so that anytime you're in contact, it comes off?
Like buckle the chin strap, man. His helmet came off because of the impact of the hit, and it got caught in the defender's arm. The defender didn't even like hardly touch the face mask, but it came off well after he did, and that's when the flag came out. It was frustrating.
If it's a strategy that teams want to do, if they're going to start calling that a face mask, if that's a precedent that's going to be set, I know this is really stupid.
That, and I kind of really didn't appreciate Davis and Herbstreit giving Norman Lott a bunch of shit for getting hurt. What was that, the third or fourth quarter?
Yeah, it did seem fishy, though.
Yeah, I'm in my head, I'm like, did we just fake an injury?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It did, but I don't know. It is what it is.
But also, there was another missed call that led to another Georgia touchdown when I don't know if it was third down or what, but it was a big play down the sideline. Carson Beck threw the ball, and it basically went in between the receiver and I guess it was McCoy out there with him, maybe. It was a great catch. Great catch.
Yeah, how is that definitively a catch when they're both?
Well, what I was going to say is, though, that was when Carson Beck started moving backwards before the snap.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it. So that play should have been nullified.
If Tennessee did that, it'd be a false start.
100%.
It'd be like triple the penalty.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty.
And we did
have the distance to the goal.
We did have so many times where we jumped the snap, got off sides, gave them a free play. That's what, in my mind, that's what put Carson Beck in a rhythm.
Yeah.
Carson Beck was in a rhythm almost the whole game.
He was.
He was slow. Georgia offense didn't score in the first quarter. We looked pretty good defensively. And then we let up a couple offsides, gave him a free play down the field, took advantage of it every single time.
He's a veteran. So, I mean, he's a senior. He's going to get that. He has that, awareness.
And I just knew going into this game that it wasn't going to be a Carson Beck 3 interception type of game. Well, I was hoping for it, but
me too. I was talking to my buddy. He's a Georgia fan, and he's like, "Hey, Carson Beck doesn't have any interceptions this game." And I was like, "Yeah, he probably would have broken a school record if he continued doing it for like a single season interception." I don't know what the actual school record is, but I mean, he already has 12 interceptions on the year.
None against us though. That's what hurt us. We didn't. We didn't get any turnovers. I don't think, not a single one. Mm-hmm. We should have had.
There's like 2 or 3 that we
should have, but
and that pitch being called a incomplete pass.
That is by
that's
rule.
Fair.
Yeah, that is an incomplete pass.
I'm not one to say that's unfair. It's the other 2 that were a little more fishy for me.
Yeah,
I just don't get how there's so many precedents that have been set this year. If fans throw trash on the field, they can get a penalty reversed on the field. If a guy catches the ball and goes to tuck it and he takes 2 steps, that's not a football move, and therefore that's an incomplete pass. You know what I mean? And then also, if your helmet comes off with any contact, apparently that's a face mask penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very salty, but so just take that with a grain of salt.
But like you said, Jacob, the loss for us really just, I don't know how to make sense of who's going to make the SEC championship. Right now, Texas is in first place, 5-1 conference record with Texas A&M, also 5-1. Although the Aggies have one more loss overall. It was that first game to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So
at the end of the year, Texas and Texas A&M have a regular season game too.
Yeah, not this week, but next week.
So one of them will have 2 losses.
One of them will have 2 losses.
Hopefully, if they don't drop any of the games before, if Texas goes into Auburn, right? Is it Texas? A&M.
Texas. Yeah, Texas A&M.
If Texas A&M goes into Auburn and loses,
but also we kind of want Texas to win that A&M matchup because even if they lose, they probably still can get the SEC title chance. And if that happens, then it might just be a rematch, Aggies and Longhorns again in the SEC championship game. So, but if Texas beats the Aggies, that would drop Texas A&M pretty much out of the race. They would be 5-2, but have 3 losses overall. And with 2 conference losses, we got right now Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss.
Georgia has the most wins because they don't have any more SEC games, right?
Yes, but Tennessee has 1 more. Everybody's going to finish with the same number of conference games.
Yeah.
We'll just have to look at the conference record.
If the rest of the teams win out, like, if Georgia, Bama, and Tennessee, or if everyone wins out, it'll be 6-2.
Georgia is done with the SEC play. Tennessee still has Vanderbilt the last week. Alabama still has 2 more games. Who do they play this week? It is.
I think they play was it Mississippi State and Auburn?
They will have Auburn next week. Who do they play this week? Oh, Oklahoma.
Okay,
They're at Oklahoma. 13.5-point favorites in that game.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll win. They'll probably win out. And if that happens, you'll have Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, all with 2 losses. Interesting game this week. Ole Miss travels to the Swamp.
Very interesting.
I called the last game. 4.5 was LSU's favoritism coming in, and
you saw right through it.
I don't like LSU.
Yeah.
Obviously, their quarterback, fishy, Brian Kelly, don't like them.
Frauds.
Feel like they're frauds. I felt that all year since the USC game week 1.
Yeah.
And I've been right about them more times than I have not been right. So
that says something. And in Florida, it's a very hard environment to go down and win. And obviously, you had Ole Miss dropping to Kentucky.
Yeah, at home
earlier this year. So it just goes to show any given week, Ole Miss can be inconsistent. Ole Miss can drop an egg, lose
or
to
they
Kentucky
can
at home,
drop 60,
or they can go and drop 60. Yeah. And what do you think the odds are that Ole Miss goes to the Swamp? With Florida, they have a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah. DJ Lagway looked pretty good.
They have a fiery quarterback.
Nice to see him come back in and get the start, because that was one thing I said about that game was like, I don't like the quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
If they had their 3rd string quarterback in like they had the last week or 2, then I would, be worried about picking Florida. Yeah. And then I saw DJ Lagway come out on the field. I was like, I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty tight game for most of it. I never once really worried about the spread because I had 4.5 points, but then Florida just took it to them.
Sunbelt Billy.
Quarter.
Sunbelt Billy came in clutch.
So now they got Ole Miss coming to the Swamp. Florida might be getting in a rhythm.
If you're Ole Miss, I don't think you're as confident as you want to be.
I'd be a little worried.
Yeah.
I'd be a little worried.
I mean,
10.5 points is a lot.
I wouldn't be sweating, but I mean, I definitely don't. Would be like, that's kind of how I am as a Tennessee fan going into Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I think Vanderbilt has lost a little bit of momentum, but I do think
they're still a good football team.
Exactly.
I would say if we did beat Georgia going into Vanderbilt, that'd probably be the most nervous I would ever be for a Tennessee game. No matter who we're playing, no matter what the stakes, that would have made me the most nervous of all time, because like if we get all the way there, then that would be the most Tennessee thing to happen when we lose to Vanderbilt at the very end.
Spoiler, right? Yeah. No, you called it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we still, like, if we still lose to Vandy, like, that kills everything.
Yeah.
Like, we're out of the SEC championship, playoffs, season's over.
See you next year.
Pack it up for a bowl game. That's pretty much it.
Pack it for the tax slayer bowl.
Yeah. So, hopefully we don't have to worry about that, but it's going to be interesting to see, Monday afternoon now, the playoff rankings come out tomorrow night. I don't know.
It's shaping up to be a banger of a postseason, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Like, you cannot ride it better. There's going to be so much, tension. If you're an SEC team right now, you're worried because there's a case for everyone to get in.
Yeah.
That's the crappy
everybody's
part.
beat everybody.
Exactly.
And if we all have the same records, like, what do they go off
It
of?
needs to be like an emergency tournament.
Yeah.
Can we have an NIT?
Yeah,
run
right.
at things first.
Yeah,
Just let all the SEC teams play again.
exactly.
I mean, if you have 3 or 4 teams that all have the same record, overall and conference, they all beat each other.
head to head over everyone, each person.
What do you take into account at that point? Like the final rankings, like whoever's ranked higher?
Losses, I guess. I don't.
They'd all be the same.
I guarantee it'll probably come down to strength of schedule.
That could be something to look at, but I don't know for conference standings because it's not like they pick and choose who gets to make, like the college football playoff. They get to pick and choose what teams make it, strength of schedule, stuff like that. But SEC conference standings go by records, and there's like a certain list. Like if they all tie up and conference record, overall record. Then what's next? If they're all tied at that point,
if everyone's 10-2,
everybody beat each other. Like you got Ole Miss beating Georgia, Georgia beat us, we beat Alabama,
Vandy beats Alabama, Ole
Vandy
Miss
beat Alabama,
Ole Miss loses to Kentucky, they beat Georgia.
I mean,
what do you do? I mean,
crazy.
we're gonna have to wait it out because there's no. We can make a prediction here, but honestly, we're gonna have to wait till next week because one of these teams, they could drop a game. Like I was saying, they could drop a game. We're just going to have to see how the season plays out.
Two teams that are not going to make it. Missouri and LSU.
Yep.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, get them
out of here.
Does Vandy have 2 or 3 losses?
I think they got 3. Vanderbilt's not making it.
Oh, okay.
They're not. But
Griffin was saying Pavia is suing the NCAA.
For what?
It's about his JUCO
eligibility. Like he's saying, I think they're saying
they're counting that towards his eligibility.
Oh,
I just thought that was interesting. I don't know.
Was he playing ball? Because I think it should, right?
Like, I mean, yeah, but I haven't really looked into it.
Like if Dalton Connect played 2 years at JUCO, then that counted.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't think it counts if you're going to school and you're not playing, but if you are, then I think that counts against, because you only get so many semesters of eligibility. That's how they rule it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
We'll see. Maybe he'll be a little nervous. I do think Pavia is a winner, though.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I worry. That's the only reason I worry.
You put Pavia on a team like South Carolina.
Oh God.
They might be up there right now.
Yeah. For sure.
Put him on a team like.
There's no reason to sleep on Lenore Sellers though.
No, I mean there's not. But I'm saying
I've carried him the last couple of weeks.
I would say like let's just say going into next year, would you rather have Sellers or Pavia if you got to pick?
Honestly, probably Sellers.
Think so?
Yeah.
I get it. But I think Pavia has worked with what he's got better.
I think South Carolina is definitely a better overall team. Is what I'm saying. So if you put,
but Vandy's a better overachiever.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say so.
Well, do they have the same record?
It's similar. I don't know.
I mean, South Carolina took it to Vanderbilt like 2 weeks ago. So.
Yeah, but Vanderbilt also beat the hell out of Alabama.
Yeah,
and South Carolina couldn't beat Alabama.
I hate that came like weeks ago.
Smack dab in the middle of the
season. No, everybody's forgotten that Alabama lost to Vanderbilt.
I know. Yeah, and a lot of people are saying Alabama will be the SEC champion.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
I don't know. I don't know how all that's gonna work out. I'll be very interested to see. Hopefully Ole Miss loses one. Hopefully Alabama finds a way to lose against Auburn or something, or Oklahoma this weekend.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't think Oklahoma's going to beat Alabama, but maybe Auburn will get on a little streak and beat Alabama.
Well, I mean, they play them close every year, no matter what their record is. I know they were, 6-6 last year?
Yeah.
We need to be Auburn's biggest fan these next 2 weeks. We need them to dominate.
Bruce Pearl, where you at?
Yeah, we need them to be A&M. We need to be Alabama. We need to go down to Auburn and get in the student section because we need them to win. Like crazy. Auburn could take care of 2 teams right there, but I doubt they will.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they're that
good. No. But we do need to.
Maybe they can squeak one out.
Hopefully.
But in Ole Miss's case, I feel like not only do they have to win these next 2 weeks, I don't know who they got next week, but they got Florida this week.
Mississippi State, right?
They need, yeah, you're right. The Egg Bowl. They need to not only win but look impressive.
Yeah,
in their
dominate
because of that loss to Kentucky, and not necessarily for the SEC standings, but for the college football playoff. If they struggle against Florida, It is in the swamp. That is one thing. All these teams that have lost to each other, Alabama lost at Tennessee. Tennessee lost at Georgia. Georgia lost at Alabama.
Yeah.
All of them night games, except the Alabama.
They've all defended their home court.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's
Home
good.
turf, yeah.
Yeah.
It is basketball season, though. One game that we have been looking at over the last couple weeks is happening this weekend, boys. Can you guess which game I'm talking about?
Indiana at Ohio State.
Beat me to it.
100% correct. Ohio State hosts number 5 Indiana.
Isn't that going to be the predicted game of the year potentially?
I mean, as far as storylines and where we're at right now, I would say so. But
you got two teams that don't play anyone, and all of a sudden they could contend for
Ohio State's had a much tougher strength of schedule than Indiana.
Yeah, for sure.
Indiana, 12.5-point underdogs going to Ohio State.
I mean, Ohio State's had to play 2 ranked teams this year. I mean, that's just I'm just kidding.
They lost at Oregon and
beat a fraudulent Penn State.
Fraudulent Penn State. They struggled against somebody, I feel like.
Wisconsin.
That was Nebraska.
No, yeah.
Nebraska? Yeah.
They beat them barely by
it was 21 to 17 or something like that.
Oregon barely beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So
took a fake field goal.
Yeah. So we got Indiana at Ohio State, number 5 at number 2. 12.5-point dogs. If Indiana doesn't keep it close, I'd say they're done. It sucks to say you beat or you have one loss on the season. It comes at the end.
But we have such a poor strength of schedule.
Yeah, I think it's ranked number 100 out of the whole country.
You got to win the games that matter. I mean, there's just no other way to put it.
Yeah.
If Tennessee plays UTEP all year, and then we have to play, I guess Alabama at the
Georgia,
end. Yeah, and we got to win, and we don't. It's what do you expect?
Yeah. I don't know.
Entitlement.
I just wish we beat Arkansas.
I know. I would feel a lot better, but Nico ain't gonna lose to Arkansas again.
No, I doubt it.
I doubt that. He looked good.
Well, hell, if he
Nico looked good.
Again.
He did with the shiesty. I mean,
yeah, Nico looked good. I enjoyed seeing that. I wish
he's him, in my opinion.
He tried his best to will us to a win there at the end. Even throughout the whole game, he didn't throw an interception, did he?
Not that
I don't think so.
Did he fumble at the end?
He fumbled at the end, but I mean that's just fourth down, trying to keep the ball alive.
Yeah.
So, Nico played good. I see a lot of people talking about the offensive play calling.
I think it's the defense more than anything.
Defense killed me. Watching our defense this week killed me.
Georgia went downfield at will
with their tight ends.
Yeah,
we had a guy named Oscar Delp scored 2 touchdowns on us and have a career night.
Oscar score on you, bro?
Yeah,
say Oscar Robertson. I get that. But
Oscar Delp,
Oscar from Shark Tale, bro.
No, but really, Oscar Delp score on you,
dude. Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't even anything he was just making plays either. He was just wide open, and getting yards in the end zone. Whatever. Georgia did have a great play call on the goal line where they lined up their left tackle on the right side, had a tight end off the ball behind him inside to the left. He was the one I think scored a touchdown. And then they had their tight end on the left lined up at tackle, which was, Tennessee had no clue who to read, who to guard. Somebody came from, right across. I think it was the tight end that was beside the tackle on the right, came through the line, wide open in the back of the end zone.
Just had to tap some feet in. He tapped 2 feet in.
Yeah.
That was it.
Would have stood in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, but that was a great play call for Georgia, and I can't remember who their offensive coordinator is.
Just think
Mike Bobo.
Mike Bobo, yeah.
And he originally at the beginning of the year, he wasn't looking too good at his job. It seemed like he was run, pass, But, he looked good or not.
I just want to see our offense come out like we did 2 years ago. I don't know. Our defense, we were running so many times. We were running press coverage, man coverage, and would have no safety help over the top. And we would just get burnt in the first 3 to 4 yards running down the field. All Beck had to do was lay it in there perfect spot. He was making good throws all night.
Yeah,
like I said, we allowed him to get in a rhythm and couldn't stop
no
it.
pressure on him either. Like,
He didn't get sacked one time.
And the one time he did get pressure, he rushed in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because he's a senior. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a tough game to watch. I don't think season's over.
No,
I don't think it's one of those.
I don't
things.
think it is either. No.
I would have liked for the final score to be closer than what it was because it was a close game throughout. It seemed like that whole second half, though, Georgia had all the momentum.
15-play drive, I think, is what killed us.
Yeah.
And just say that
couldn't stop them.
And just say that they, take an extra 30 seconds and review a potential game-changing turnover where a guy grabs the ball, takes 2 steps, and fumbles it.
Yeah.
Just say that they do review it, and we get the possession and go down and make a drive, and all of a sudden it's a tie game, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying that's a lot of what is. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not like it was an unreachable win or a game,
Yeah.
They only won by 14, but just say if we prevent them on one, and it wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a blowout.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Like I
be
said,
happy about that.
Season's not over. I think you sent in some projections that said we still had like a 60-something% chance to make the playoff. We'll have to see where they rank us tonight. In the AP poll, we only dropped to number 10. Not bad at all.
No.
But
we'll have
also,
to see how next week, too, plays out.
Yeah. The rankings don't really mean – AP rankings don't mean nothing anymore. It's all about the playoff polls. So we'll see that tomorrow night, see what happens. Hopefully we might try to go live for that. Or not live, but maybe make a clip. Or something, reaction.
And like Ohio State and Indiana, one will take care of itself, in my opinion. So
if Ohio State loses, they're not dropping out. I'll tell you that.
If Ohio State loses,
that's just how it is.
You're right.
It's just how it is.
But I mean, BYU losing, I mean, like you said, that helps too.
Yeah.
So
I had a pretty good slate.
There's still a lot of room for teams to mess up.
Yeah, I was seeing the field well this week. Last week. Not so much. The week before that, I was seeing it pretty well. So anything that I say this week, you might want to fade. That's just how it's trending right now. We'll see.
So we went over Indiana, Ohio State. I mean, who do you think's going to win? Because I got a soft topic, but
I think Ohio State's. I hope Ohio State just demolishes.
That would be amazing. That would be awesome.
I would hate it for Indiana because they've had a
Best
good year.
season they've had in school history.
I think they're a very good team. I think they are pretty good, but also haven't played
by their
anybody.
Conference standards. Like, do you think if they're the SEC, they would be?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like their strength of schedule is ass.
Yeah,
and a half.
Yeah, you said they are a very good team. Is that what you said?
I do think they're a pretty good team. But as far as
the closest game they've had all year is Michigan. We know how they are.
20
Michigan
to 15.
sucks.
It's 15-20. Yeah.
It's interesting to see, too, how much do you think the odds and lines are playing a part in how the college football playoff makes their rankings? So, let's say Ohio State, or what's a better game to pick? Hold on.
Man, I mean, in my ideal world, Ohio State demolishes Indiana this week and then loses to Michigan next week.
Yeah. So what I was getting at is how much do you think the playoff polls take into account the spread and stuff? So let's say Texas is at home against Kentucky, right? Let's say they get the win. They're 20.5 point favorites. They're 20-point favorites. What if they beat Kentucky by a field goal?
Are you saying the expectations?
Yeah, the expectation for Texas, Kentucky's not a good team.
Yeah.
Supposed to beat them by 20. You barely squeak it out at home. Does that, do the playoff poll people take that into account?
I
Maybe
think so.
They don't think Texas is as good. Or, Indiana's supposed to keep it within 10 or so points. What if they get beat by 20 or 30 against Ohio State this weekend? Then it's they only have one loss, but...
I think it definitely does.
I think so too. It's just interesting to think about
because it's in my opinion, it's the most objective reality that people can think of, and they're putting their money on it.
Yeah.
If the whole consensus of a team is to win by 20 points, and they fall short of that, that I guess that just means their performance wasn't up to what it has been.
Yeah.
So they did worse. I do think what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think it's something to look at.
I do. Yeah.
It might play a part, it might not, but overall, you got to look at records. You got to look at strength of schedule. Tennessee has one bad loss on the year, and it was still on the road to a decent team. We're not the same team that we were back then in week 5 or 6 or whatever it was. Georgia's not the same team as they were when they struggled against Kentucky, lost to Alabama.
The whole SEC.
Yeah,
all year.
The ebbs and flows this year are crazy.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean Miami, they lost a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
To Georgia Tech, which Georgia and Georgia Tech, that may be a sleeper banger. That could be a really good game. But they play. It says Wake Forest at Miami.
Yeah.
Is that a game?
Wake Forest is unfortunately garbage.
Yeah.
Wake Forest is pretty ass.
Did Wake Forest, didn't they beat NC State? Wasn't that like a pretty good win? Or did NC State win?
I'm not sure who won. I think Wake Forest probably won that game. That was the game that Grayson McCall got hit and he went out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That was that game. I don't know who won. I think probably it was Wake Forest.
Yeah, I thought so.
But NC State kind of sucks. So.
Exactly. But I mean, so y'all are predicting Miami to absolutely crush them.
The line Miami hosts Georgia minus 23.5 is the spread in that game. I don't know if I'd lay all that, but over under 64.5. 60% of the money is on Miami to win that, so that doesn't necessarily scare me to look at, but who knows? They had a tough loss 2 weeks ago to Georgia Tech, almost came back to win that game, had a bye week this past week, and now they're back at home.
Man, I wish
I'm probably staying away from that game.
What? The Wake Forest Miami?
Yeah, I don't want to touch it.
I'm imagining what if the Florida team of the past 2 weeks played Miami to end the year.
That'd be interesting
because they won. It said 41-17.
Yeah, that
Miami
was
did.
week 1.
Yeah, it was like
so.
Imagine that was their in-state rivalry.
I probably imagine Graham Mertz played in that game for Florida.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but imagine you put Lagway in. I don't know. It's interesting how just the way the season goes. You evolve throughout the season. You're not the same team you were 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So who do y'all have in that Ole Miss Florida game? Ole Miss minus 10.5 at the Swamp.
I have Florida winning.
Florida winning. Okay.
See, I'm gonna take Ole Miss, but I think it'll be close.
You think Florida covers that 10.5?
Yeah.
60% of the money is on Ole Miss.
What's the spread? 10.5?
Yeah, 10.5. Ole Miss is favored at the Swamp. Over under 55.5. I'd hate to ride with Florida for 2 weeks in a row.
See, that's when you know something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So fate is.
I don't think
Lagway's good, but
I don't think Ole Miss and LSU are on the same caliber. I'd probably stay away from that game, honestly.
Guys, Ole Miss is gonna lose. There's too much pressure.
I think so.
Florida,
it is a tough matchup.
Florida's playing with no pressure. They have no chance of making the championship or anything.
Are they bowl eligible now, or do they have 5 wins?
I think they need to win one more of these last 2.
Right, Lane, here you go. You're lining it up for them.
I don't think the Ole Miss. I think they have too much pressure.
Yeah. We'll see. That'll be interesting.
I'm probably so wrong.
One game,
Ole Miss would be like 7-3 or 8-3.
What like their total record?
Yeah.
I'd
give them 3 SEC losses.
Yeah, but I think they would give them 3 SEC losses. Yeah, who'd they lose to as well? I know it's Kentucky, and then
Ole Miss.
Yeah,
let me check.
Who was it that beat them? It was
I don't remember.
So they beat Georgia, had a bye week this week, beat Arkansas, Alabama? Beat Oklahoma, fell to LSU.
That's who it was.
Wow.
Well, see,
and
I guess we got to take Florida.
That was October 12th at LSU.
Wow.
Final in overtime.
That was all the way back in October. So yeah.
So I'm telling you guys, I think it's going to be a little closer.
You know, one game that I am going to play?
What?
Penn State at Minnesota. Nittany Lions favored 12.5, over under 45.5.
Has Minnesota been playing good?
They're not great, but their defense is pretty good. They don't necessarily score the ball a whole lot. I don't think Penn State is great.
I would love to see them get blown out. They are so frauds.
I'm going to take Minnesota plus 12.5.
Okay. I like that. I wish Minnesota could win outright. But,
yeah. You might also want to look at the under 45.5 in that game. Last time I gave an under, it was
Army.
No, that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. But this past week, I said South Carolina, Missouri under 48.5 or 44.5.
Did that cover?
There were 60 total points scored in that game.
Okay.
So no, I did not hit that one. But yeah, I like the looks of Minnesota plus 12.5. Just don't think Penn State is that great. They're on the road. Minnesota's defense is pretty good.
God, imagine being a Penn State fan. It's just so tragic.
No one. It's unfortunate.
I mean, you don't play anyone all year, and then you play Ohio State and you lose.
And then your season's done.
Basically, aren't they? Don't they have a higher chance though?
Who's that?
Penn State of making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean
Tennessee.
They won't have to play anybody else. They won't be contending for the Big Ten championship. Like if they win out, their record is going to be good enough to put them in. But I don't think
that's crazy.
I would love for them to have a home game. Send Alabama up there. Send Ole Miss up there.
Make a statement.
Send Tennessee up there, and we beat the shit out of them.
That would a statement.
Yeah, that would be great.
Like you're nothing.
There's a lot of people that say, the Big Ten fans and people like that say, send a Southern team up here in the cold. When it's cold, they're not going to win. They're going to be too cold to play. And the cold, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd just love to see it. Send one of us up there.
I'd love that.
Let Vandy in just to go up there.
Dude. I would love to see Pavia just destroy Penn State or Ohio State. That would be amazing.
All right, I know what my parlay pick is going to be this week.
What's that?
Give me Charleston Southern
to
cover against Florida State.
Oh, God. Oh, shoot.
That's cool.
What a play.
That's cool.
All right. What's the line?
33.5.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like Florida State is favored 33.5?
Yep.
They need it. Wait, I keep
let me find
45.5.
I keep seeing people asking on these playoff projectors, "Where's Florida State?" Oh, that's crazy.
I don't even see that game.
No,
what
dude,
time
I
is
saw
it?
this meme and it was saying, "Thank you, Florida State, for making everyone forget about the mistakes our programs have made this year." And it was Alabama, Penn State, a bunch of other ones.
Oh man,
what time is that game? I can't find it.
It says Saturday.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Over under 45.5. Florida State minus 33.5. Charleston Southern. All right, Griff.
Wow.
We got Griff's play.
We gotta find their mascot real quick.
Is Army still undefeated?
Yes.
Did they have a bye week last week?
Yeah.
I think so.
And so now they played Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame. It's gonna be tough.
That would be crazy if they could pull it off.
It would be. What was the line in that game?
I don't have it pulled up.
I saw it earlier. I think it's only like 14 or so.
For Notre Dame to win?
Yeah. Notre Dame's definitely favored.
Wow.
Let's see if I can find that.
Man, let's hope Army can pull it off, man. That'd be really cool.
Notre Dame did play Navy a few weeks ago and tore them to pieces.
Navy has fallen off the map since then.
Have they lost a few?
They lost on senior day to Tulane 35-0 last year.
Tulane's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, 35-0.
Yeah.
Wow, no points. Man, they dropped an egg.
Notre Dame hosts Army. Number 6 Notre Dame. Number 18 Army. Fighting Irish minus 14.5. Over under 44.5. You want to take Army with the spread or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, give me the under.
The under?
Yeah.
44.5?
Yeah.
Is that going to be your parlay play?
I don't think it's going to be a shootout.
All right. I don't know what my play is going to be.
It'll probably be a slug match, if I'm being honest. But yeah.
There was another game that you were saying, Jacob, that you thought somebody was going to win. Remember what it was?
Kansas beating Colorado.
Yep. Kansas at home plus 2.5 to the Colorado Buffaloes. Over under
BYU season.
I want them to ruin Colorado's season. That would be so nice.
59.5.
Hey, Colorado. Hear me out though. If Colorado really does lose, Deion's going to either the Cowboys or the Raiders.
You think he's making that move to the NFL?
You don't think he's going to go to Florida State?
He might go to Florida State. He might stay at Colorado. Maybe
have they talked about firing Mike Norvell yet?
I'm
no,
sure
they've already fired, I think, the offensive and defensive coordinators. So, I don't know.
But, yeah, so that's a game plus or minus 2.5 for Colorado.
Why is that so close? You think because Kansas just came off, ending BYU's undefeated streak?
I mean, Colorado's
Kansas,
pretty good.
I feel like, is underperformed all year.
And then now they're starting
because they started the season. What was it, like 18th, 17th in the rankings, and then just
now they're starting to perform up to what they could.
Not only could they not win a lot of those games, but they didn't even cover in most of them.
Wow.
They're one of the worst covering teams in the nation as far as that goes. But 2.5. Why is that game supposed to be so close? I also look at another game this weekend, Texas A&M at Auburn. That is also only minus 2.5 for Texas A&M, who I think is up there with LSU and Missouri in the fraud watch. Auburn hasn't had a great year. They are at home.
Lately, they've been playing better.
Only 2.5. I might take Auburn.
I took Auburn already.
You did?
Yeah. I took them to win.
That might be my play of the parlay.
Because if you take Kansas and Auburn to beat their respective teams.
Oh, boys. Even better. 93% of the money, 94% of the bets are on Texas A&M.
Ooh.
Book's about to rake it in.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to be with them. Auburn plus 2.5.
So I like it.
We've got Charleston Southern plus 33.5. Under 44.5. Army at Notre Dame. Auburn plus 2.5 at home against Texas A&M. Final odds plus 644.
Pretty solid.
Yeah,
I like
agree.
that. Yeah,
I agree.
I really do.
Boys, we have not won a single $1 million parlay yet.
But we've come close.
But that just means we're 1 week closer to winning our first one.
I think that's like what they say about gambling addictions. Like every person addicted to gambling always quits, before they win big. 99% of them quit.
Can't stop now.
Isn't that what Alex says?
Yeah, I think that's what
99% of gambling addicts quit right before they hit it big.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that Auburn Texas A&M game.
Give me Auburn to win. Give me Auburn to win by freaking 14 points. Texas A&M ain't that guy. This is Auburn, baby. War Eagle. Auburn Tigers. Aren't they the Minutemen too?
You sound delusional now.
Aren't they the Minutemen? I don't know. Auburn.
I don't think so.
If Auburn beats them and Alabama, they're taking care of the SEC, baby. That's all I'm going to say.
Is preaching at church right now. Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Amen. Let's go. I like that. I like the confidence.
There's only one man on the planet who agrees with you, and his name is Charles Barkley.
And Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
That's two. Hey, Auburn's going to take it to Texas A&M.
Hey, you might be wearing a darker shade of orange, but VFL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. But yeah, Auburn's going to win. Vandy at LSU. Vandy's going to win.
Vandy at LSU.
And do you think I want Diego Pavia going to war with me?
Putting his nuts on their forehead.
Exactly. Do you think Pavia is going to walk into Death Valley and lose? No. He's made for these moments. He's the man. So give me Vandy beating him by a field goal on a game-winning field goal.
That
Where is
Pavia
that?
will kick himself.
Huh? Huh?
I said that Pavia will kick himself.
Yeah, Vanderbilt plus 8.5 in Death Valley.
Give me Vanderbilt to win, baby. I love that.
Plus 225 on the money line, over under 54.5.
I love that. I love it.
Another game I would like to make a play on as well. This is kind of the same, kind of the same spot that Baylor was in last week with Kansas. I don't know if I wrote this in the notes or not, but SMU travels to Virginia.
Oh, wow.
SMU minus 9.5. 10-point favorites at Virginia, over under 58.5. I
mean, Clemson beat them by 20, so
I might want to go with Virginia. Not the most confident, but
To
also,
cover the spread?
Yeah. Also think that SMU could be one to drop one before the end of the season. Kind of like I said about Baylor last week. Not Baylor,
but do you think
BYU.
Is this their last game? No, they have 2 more up.
They'll have one more after this. Everybody plays next
But
week.
isn't this, if they win, they've clinched a spot in the playoff, basically?
well, I mean,
Almost. I mean, in their division, right?
No,
They're
they-
the conference.
will they play for the ACC championship?
They
game
will
win
if
out?
they win out.
Because they're
Yeah.
not lost.
But
It'll-
would they play Clemson or would they play
Miami.
Miami?
If Miami can beat who we say?
Wake Forest.
and they have to travel to Syracuse next week, that would be a game that I am scared to touch.
Do you think Syracuse is that good at football to beat Miami and Cam
They
Ward?
have their moments.
Okay. I've not watched them. So
First of all, let's look at SMU. They got at Virginia this week and then host Cal next week. Let's go look at
Cal's a
Syracuse.
trap game.
That's what I'm saying.
It's versus SMU.
Yeah,
Think so?
yeah,
That very well could be.
So
I mean, versus
Syracuse-
Miami, weren't they up by like 25 at least?
yeah.
Wasn't it a crazy margin?
Syracuse just went to Cal and won 33-25. They
Take
fell.
back everything I just said.
They fell to Boston College 37-31. Beat Virginia Tech in overtime 38-31. Got blown out by Pitt 41-13 a few weeks ago. What's their record?
Which I
Does it
guess
say?
Pitt's out of it now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I think
Pitt's
they're
done.
not even ranked. They're not even ranked.
Pitt's done.
Right. I think they dropped out of the rankings completely.
Just when you thought there was a chance.
Are you a Pitt fan?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, good.
I just remember when they were good with Kenny Pickett a couple years
Oh
ago.
yeah, when he fake slid.
So Syracuse is 7-3 on the year. So could be a trap game for Miami. Is all I'm saying.
I hope so. I'd love to see them just. I don't think Cam Ward's the favorite anymore. It's Travis Hunter.
See, I wish, God, all I saw Saturday was that stupid deflection pick he had. Oh, he was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Bro, that's luck.
Uh huh.
You can't.
And then he caught the touchdown. Did the Heisman
Yeah.
pose? We'll see.
Hey,
I think
Genty balled out.
Ashton Genty deserves it, in my opinion.
All right, boys. Let's look at something real quick. I'm going to list at least the top 12. Yeah, we'll go top 12. And I'm going to say a team
Now, is this from 12 to 1 or 1 to 12?
1 to 12. I'm going to say a team and try to be as unbiased as we can.
Jacob.
Are they on fraud watch,
Okay.
or do you think they have a strong case to make the college football playoff?
Okay.
Number 1, 11-0 Oregon. Just struggled
I
against
think
Wisconsin.
Probably a shoe-in at this point.
Even if they went out and let's say they lose the Big Ten championship,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oregon should.
No fraud.
They'd probably
Oregon-
put them at like 5 or 6 if they ended up with one loss.
And they have a win over now ranked number 2 Ohio State, who is 9-1.
Fraud.
yeah.
You don't-
Think so?
Hell yeah, you don't play no one.
Oregon was the only team that Oregon and Penn State, if you want to count that as a big game, which it was, but that was at Penn State too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, number 3 Texas, 9-1.
Legit.
Yeah.
Kind of though. The one time they play a good SEC team,
Yeah.
Georgia,
Yeah.
they lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but every other team they've beaten, right?
I think they're a shoe in to at least make the top 12.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penn State 9-1, ranked number 4.
Frauds, but they'll end up getting in there and losing the first round.
I agree.
I call it.
I say Penn State makes it.
The committee will probably give them a home game, and they'll find a way to screw it up.
Yeah. So
the Nittany Lions. Like what? What is a Nittany Lion? I don't even know what that is. I'm dumb.
And a lot of these rankings and teams
it's a female line, Jacob. But
okay. Well, thank you for informing me. I didn't know what it was.
A lot of these teams will take care of themselves in the rankings. I think that'll happen with number 5, Indiana. Yes. Right now, 10-0. Do you think they make the playoffs?
If they lose, no.
So. See, America would like them to win this weekend and be undefeated going into the playoff, but
you don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening. I think if they lose, I think they're out.
If they keep it close, I think they stay in, but I don't think they keep it close.
At the least, they'll drop to like probably 7 or 8 if the game's close.
Yeah,
but
if they get absolutely torn apart, then
if it's a 20-point win for Ohio State or worse than
drop
that,
to like 15.
Yeah. All right, number 6, Notre Dame 9-1, only lost to Northern Illinois.
Frauds.
Frauds.
Give me Army.
Give me Army, baby. Give me Army, baby. Yeah, hell yeah.
Notre Dame wins out. They make it for sure.
They're frauds, though.
I agree. Number 7, Alabama 8-2.
That's tough because they lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
that's what gets me.
See, it's just really confusing when it comes to Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama.
No fraud. Alabama's
no fraud, but
if they win out, they make it for sure. Barring
Alabama, we beat Alabama. They're ranked higher than Georgia. We lost to Georgia.
They beat Georgia.
The real question comes in.
We beat them.
The real question would be Alabama has 2 losses. Let's say they do somehow make the conference championship game and lose to Texas. They would have 3 losses on the year. They did play 1 extra game, so do you count that against them?
They'll find a way to be 10th or 11th if they lose 3 games.
Yeah, I agree.
Tennessee somehow is going to get screwed out. I just have a feeling.
We're going to find a way.
Number 8, Georgia 8-2.
No fraud.
No fraud. Yeah.
No fraud. Yeah.
Put them against Penn State right now. Put them against Indiana right now.
Put them against 6-1.
Yeah,
they're winning. I mean,
I think they beat Oregon. I think they beat Ohio State.
I mean, hell, what's Texas ranked again?
3.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you that they beat the hell out of Texas.
Texas only has 1 loss to Georgia.
So,
number 9, Ole Miss 8-2.
Oh man, I can't say for sure.
Yeah, I can't. I gotta wait.
What do you say?
What do I say? I think they're legit.
Yeah. I see that.
If they struggle against Florida, it's a fluid situation. I may change my opinion.
It's like that with Alabama. Whichever Alabama team, whichever Ole Miss team shows up,
yeah,
then one of them are frauds. But for the most part, Ole Miss is not frauds.
Now you get to
watch this end up being all the conference championship winners and just SEC teams.
It's
just going to end up being that way.
In my perfect world, that's what it would be. If I'm being honest.
One more SEC team, number 10, Tennessee Volunteers 8-2.
No fraud.
No frauds, but I think we'll make it to the semifinal round and lose.
Yeah. Well, you're saying that we do make the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? No frauds? We make the playoffs? I hope so.
I do think there's a
way
they'll
get a home game.
I think there's a way.
Game. I feel like we could win.
Yeah,
that's true. It would be rocking.
Yeah,
I do think if they're going to try to find a way to get us out of it.
I do too.
Somehow.
That's my gut feeling. Or they give us a road game like at Ohio State or somewhere.
Penn State.
I would love to see us play Penn State.
That would be electric.
I don't give a shit.
That would be electric. Nico going into Ohio State would be.
Imagine one of those teams coming to Neyland, though. That'd be crazy.
Oh, God. If we played Notre Dame or something.
Number 11 right now, 1 loss Miami.
They're going to get in probably if they win out. But I think they're fraudulent.
Yeah, I don't know if they do anything once they get there. Unless they get like Boise State or something.
No offense.
No offense to Boise State.
I feel like our defense can contain them.
Unless Cam Ward goes on a generational run.
That's what I'm saying.
Or the opposite, unless he does not.
The only reason why we lost to Oregon was special teams.
Yep.
I think if Boise State played Miami, I worry that Miami's defensive line would be too much.
But we've already seen. I mean,
Tyler Barron ain't crap, dog.
But we've seen Georgia Tech run it down Miami's throat with the triple option.
Very true.
Now I don't know how
they put Genty in that backfield.
Now, could they line 8 people up in the box every play? Because then Madsen's going to beat you deep.
Exactly. So
that's how we.
You have a one-man wrecking crew with Ashton Genty. I don't think that Miami's defense stops that. Now, does Miami's offense come on the field the next drive, the next possession, and just absolutely go to town? Probably. Yeah. So it'd be a shootout, in my opinion.
See, that's what I was going to mention. Even though it's San Diego State, they were lining up 8 and 9 in the box every 2 plays.
And basically, they were saying
Madsen to throw for 400 yards.
And they're saying we'll live with that.
Yeah,
but we're not going to live with Ashton Genty beating us.
Yeah,
I want to see Ashton Genty get a jump pass. Wouldn't that be sick? Wouldn't that be sick?
We also have, speaking of the Broncos, they are at number 12, only lost to number 1 Oregon in Eugene.
No fraud,
but I think if they have to play,
come at me in the comment section if you want it.
I think for the group of 5 spot to make it into the playoffs, because there is going to be one group of 5 team to make it. I think Boise State is not a fraud to make that. But I worry when they do get in, who's the matchup going to be? Where are they playing? I really wish they would have beat Oregon early on.
God, that would. I mean, yeah. Would they be undefeated, bro?
They'd be undefeated. They'd probably be in the top 5.
Yeah,
because then they've only played one good team, you could say, but winning in Oregon would look so good on their end. It being a close loss, I think helps Boise State out immensely too.
They would have been ranked over Ohio State because Ohio State lost to Oregon.
Yeah. So let's say
interesting.
Let's say number 13 SMU with 1 loss already on the season. They meet up with number 11 Miami for the ACC championship. Who do you think makes it in? I bet only one of those teams make it.
Out of the 2?
Out of the 2, yeah.
If they went into the conference.
If they met up in the conference championship, ACC, winner goes in, loser gets kicked out.
God, do you doubt Cam Ward?
No.
See, part of me trusts SMU's defense a little bit more than Miami's.
Than our offense?
Yeah.
Like, do you think Miami's offense would be suffocated under SMU?
Slightly, but I still feel like it's going to end up being like a Big 12 matchup where it's like, 45 to 38 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It'll be a shootout.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope Miami wins.
You don't like SMU?
I mean, it's not that I don't like SMU, but I have enjoyed watching Miami more and more this year. I think they are, like, their offense is so good that they need to.
Yeah, I watched that Louisville game, and dear God, that was amazing. The entire game.
I mean, they came back, what was it, 35 to something against Cal, came back and won the second half. Like, I think their offense should be given the chance to make the playoffs, but
they got to earn it, and SMU is going to prevent
them.
Because SMU is going to win.
Well, I mean, they would have earned it if they do make it, because that would mean that they beat Syracuse on the road, and I think they're 10 or 11 point favorites in that game already. Although I sent it into the group, 100% of the money is on Miami to cover already against Syracuse.
No one is betting against them.
100%. I've never seen that.
Carmelo Anthony's son just committed to Syracuse. Syracuse.
Give me the orange.
Hey, honestly, no. If SMU and Miami meet in the conference championship, SMU is going to win.
It'll be interesting. My eyes will be on that.
Amber, SMU will beat Miami. Hate to tell you.
Oh, man.
She who should not be named. Miami's losing to SMU in the conference finals.
Shots fired.
I say conference finals like it's NBA.
No, see, because I wish I could have got a good picture of it when I was in Dallas, but I was about 300 yards from the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, really? That's cool.
And that's
really cool.
Yeah. So, any bold predictions this week as we wrap up college football talk?
UTEP squeaks it out versus Tennessee.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Well, that's a gimme. I mean, UTEP's. I'm sorry, guys.
We are 41.5 point favorites. That worries me, but not that we'll lose. But I don't think that's a lot of points. I would love to see us have a good tune-up game. Just absolutely full throttle against UTEP. Have Nico where he only plays first half, 300 yards, couple touchdowns. Like Dylan Sampson, couple touchdowns on the ground, 100 yards the first half. I'd love to see that.
And I seriously don't think that Georgia loss is as bad as some people are making it out
I agree.
to be.
I agree with that. Also, like we take care of UTEP, like I just said, and then go into Vanderbilt.
It's their Super Bowl, right?
It would be Vanderbilt's Super Bowl. They've already made it. They're already bowl eligible. They're not playing for the SEC. They're not playing for the playoffs. That would be their Super Bowl. They'd rather have that than a bowl win.
Just to ruin our year.
If we do what we should against UTEP, tune it up right, and then go to Vandy and take care of them pretty easily, I think we make the playoffs.
I mean, if you're Vanderbilt and you've beaten Alabama and Tennessee in 1 year,
go buy a lottery ticket.
Could you ask for a better season?
Yeah, no,
honestly,
even if they went 2-10 and those are the only 2 wins.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't really have a bold prediction, really. Because I think, I guess my bold prediction is just who I picked. Auburn to beat A&M and Kansas to beat Colorado.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Arizona State to beat BYU.
Wow.
Yeah,
good.
They are favored 3.5.
Good.
I saw that.
Is that a bold prediction? If they're favored,
it's at Arizona State.
Yeah.
That's fair. I like that.
Big 12 after dark.
I like
That's what they'll call it now, I guess.
I like that. Okay, you got one?
What was it?
That, and if you consider Army beating Notre Dame.
That is a bold prediction.
Yeah.
And I hope that happens. Not saying it will happen. I hope it does, though.
My bold prediction would be Virginia over SMU.
Wow. We'll see.
At home.
We'll see.
I'm taking 9.5, not doing anything on the money line, but SMU might bring it to them full throttle, but give me Virginia.
We need to make a post. Each slide has our prediction.
Yeah.
For the week.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's it. That's college football, baby. We're gonna have to take it week by week because this shit's getting
very fluid. It's been
crazy.
so fun. It's been so fun to keep up with. I'm so glad that we decided to do this podcast, boys.
Yes.
Because this has been so much fun to talk about.
It's been a great season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't write it better than this. It's not rigged. Well, it's a little rigged, but it's not scripted.
What's that one meme that dude, the flaming quill?
What?
Have you not?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It was like Beethoven writing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's absolute fire. Yeah. Okay.
As we look forward to the NFL, or we can take a step back and talk about yesterday. Packers, big win against the Bears. 11 in a row. Matt LaFleur never lost to Chicago. Undefeated against Chicago.
What's Chicago's head coach's name?
Matt Eberflus.
Get him out of there.
It doesn't matter. Like, you just pulled a rock. He just pulled the rock right now. He's like,
it doesn't matter what his name is. But
needs to be gone.
Yeah. Same with Zach Taylor, right? Don't you think?
What a game that was.
Yes,
last night. That was a great
I've
game.
been sick of Zach Taylor for 2 years now.
Bengals versus Chargers. Chargers go up 27-6, and I'm laying in bed. I'm like, dang, Bengals are gonna drop another one.
Bro, I gave up. I was about to write out a Facebook post, fire Zach Taylor right now.
So I'm in bed. I'm like, I was doing it in my head. I'm like, okay, maybe they could get a score, then to stop another score. I didn't think they were actually going to do it, though. And they did. They tied it right up.
Yeah.
And then I went to sleep, and I woke up, and Chargers won.
Yeah.
I watched the last 4 minutes.
So what happened? Was it like 30 seconds left, and the Chargers scored?
I texted the group. I was like,
yeah.
I said the Chargers are giving the Bengals this game.
And then,
you got to win.
I'll give you a plug. I used Stream East last night.
Whoa, we can't be exposed.
Allegedly, that's what I used. I can't remember if that was the name or if it was something else.
Or if it was NFL Plus that he paid for.
Yeah,
or
NFL
Peacock.
Network, yeah.
He paid for Peacock.
I'm pretty
used
sure. My TV in my living room to watch that game.
But regardless, it came in clutch.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So the Chargers, they scored with 30 seconds left, a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think I went to bed with
it was a tie game.
Quarter.
It was a tie game, 27-27. The Bengals came all the way back, tied it up.
Joe Burrow had that deep ball right there.
And I mean, the Chargers couldn't do nothing the second half offensively.
See, I will say Jamar Chase had 2 big drops.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Jamar Chase had some
that big
drops.
throw down the sideline and a slant that could have gave us a 4th and 1 instead of kicking.
Think about this, too.
54-yard field goal that McPherson missed.
Think about this, too. Evan McPherson missed 2 field goals. You hit those, you're up 6 points. Yep. And then the Chargers have to drive down the field. They need a touchdown. They were trying to set up for a field goal. They handed the ball to J.K. Dobbins, trying to set up for a field goal to win the game. Yeah. And Dobbins actually breaks it, scores a touchdown.
I'm so glad for analytics he didn't just...
Well, I mean, it was kind of one of those, he was in some traffic around the 7-yard line, and then he just gave it an extra push, and I guess...
broke a tackle or two, and
they let him just score.
But, I don't know. It was a tough game to be a Bengals fan, I'll tell you that.
Well, you talk about the missed field goals. Also, look at the Ravens.
Derrick Henry fumbled for the first time in 3 years yesterday.
Justin Tucker missed some.
Yeah, you look at Ravens versus Steelers. I mean, if Justin Tucker hits... those 2 field goals, I forgot what they won by, but
it was 18-16.
Yeah,
the Steelers' only points came from field goals. Chris Boswell, 6 of 6. Justin Tucker missed a couple.
I mean, if
that
he
was
hits
the
one of
difference
those,
in the game.
Yeah, if he hits one of those, and that's it.
Steelers were 2.5 point underdogs. I saw something that said in the matchups between John Harbaugh and
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. In their matchups, the Steelers have outscored them by only 10 points. Like, if you add up all the scores together, it's only a 10-point difference, and the average winning margin is like 2 points,
so
2 or 3 points.
So they're always neck and neck. But Lamar Jackson is what, 1-8 or 1-7?
I think it's 1-5.
I think it's actually one. Maybe.
Oh yeah, he's definitely played way more games against the Steelers than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 1-7.
It was a pretty good game. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of it. My main focus in that time slot was the Packers and Bears game.
Don't worry, I got you covered. I was watching the Steelers Ravens game. I was listening
thanks to local restrictions, I was watching the Minnesota-Tennessee game.
But yeah, it was pretty much close the whole time. But I mean, you have you're not gonna win. Justin Tucker, in my opinion, is like the greatest kicker of all time.
Hey. Don't let Vinatieri hear you say that.
What's he gonna do about it?
I don't think Adam.
Kick your ass.
I don't think Adam Vinatieri has anything to prove.
No,
all 5'11" of him.
No, yeah, okay, but you get what I'm saying. Justin Tucker's great, but if you're banking on him when you have in the past to do what he does, and he is not meeting that level, I mean, you're not gonna win. Yeah. Well, I hate blaming it on the kicker though. But literally, the kicker's what won the Steelers the game.
Yeah.
So,
also before we look into next week, shout out to the Buffalo Bills, Josh.
Yes, the Swifties, the Mahomeses,
keep crying.
The Kelce's.
Dude, once I saw that pass get picked off in front of Travis Kelce, I knew the Swifties were going to be on it.
I was so happy, dude. And Josh Allen, he's a cold man.
Yeah.
He's a cold man. Running in the end zone. Man, that
was a hell of a play.
Hey, shout out Mountain West. He played at Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a 0-star recruit or something?
I think so.
Like very, very under-recruited.
So. But
shout out Bills, man. They finally bring the undefeated season to an end.
That was a great game.
I wanted to bring up some officiating stuff about this game.
Go ahead.
There was a very clear and plain to see face mask that didn't get called on the Chiefs in the fourth quarter.
Really?
And then that catch that wasn't a catch.
I didn't actually watch the game.
It was on the last possession that Kansas City had, but they threw, I can't remember who was there to catch it. 82, 84, one of their other tight ends.
Yeah.
Caught a pass, about 6-7 yard gain, but you could clearly see when they showed a replay of it, it hit the ground and bounced back up into his hands.
Wasn't there a penalty?
Yeah, I guess the penalty, made up for it, but they never reviewed that catch.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Regardless, the Chiefs are no longer undefeated. The Packers were a fingernail away from losing to the Bears, but a blocked field goal at the end to walk it off was nice to see.
How did Jordan Love do in that game?
He still threw one interception, but looked pretty good. Threw a couple.
Texas and Jordan Love throwing an interception in that game.
And also Jordan Love and the Packers beating the Bears. So
that's true.
But anyways, Jordan Love, he looked pretty good. One thing I will say is he finally looked healthy. He was moving around.
Good.
Was running the ball, running people over a couple times, and threw a couple deep balls to Christian Watson. Shout out C-Dub. That was the jersey I was wearing last week. Christian Watson's a dog when he's healthy. Jordan Love looked good. We scored a touchdown on the opening drive, worked it right down the field. Looked like we were going to blow them out, and then didn't score again until like the fourth quarter, pretty much, other than a couple field goals. But anyways, got the win. Looking forward to the game with San Francisco next week. So,
has San Francisco gotten a little healthier?
Yes, they do have Christian McCaffrey back, although they did lose to Seattle this week.
I saw Juwan Jennings caught a touchdown.
Yeah. So Juwan's a dog.
Shout out Juwan Jennings, man.
Absolutely. Also, do y'all know the guy Oz the Mentalist?
Why does that sound familiar?
He's the guy that goes into the NFL teams when they're like watching film or something in their meeting rooms or whatever, and he does like not magic kind of magic, but he can like read minds and all this stuff. Yeah. He was on the Pat McAfee show when they did the NFL draft back in April. Okay, and I don't know exactly what it was. I'll send y'all the links to go watch it. It's a crazy video. He basically taped. He had a piece of paper in this folder, taped it to somebody's chest before the draft started, and then pulled it out after 13 or 14 picks, and he had all of the picks in order to each team, including teams trading up, and got Michael Penix got drafted by the Falcons. He called it. He called 1 through whatever it was, like the first 10 or 15 draft. It was crazy. But he also said there's a Packers fan on that is on Pat McAfee, Ty Schmidt. He huge Packers fan. He asked Ty.
Worse than you?
Huh?
Worse than you?
I wouldn't say worse. I think that's a bad.
Oh, Mad Mel.
But anyways, so he asked him what he thought the biggest game of this year would be. Ty said Packers 49ers. And he was like, okay, what do you think the score is in that game? And Ty said 34-27. And then he pulled out, I don't know where it was, if it was with the draft order or whatever. He pulled out a card that already had Ty's answer written on it. Packers, he could have picked any game. He could have said Chiefs, Bills. He could have said anything. He picked Packers, 49ers, Packers to win 34-27. And Oz the Mentalist pulled it out and said, you will be 1 point off of what actually happens. Who do the Packers play this week? The 49ers. 34-27 was the prediction. You might want to play Packers minus 5.5. Right now, the line.
You think he sports bets?
I don't know. He should.
He should.
But all I'm saying is the line right now.
Just expose this man.
The line. Literally, boys.
How much
boys.
money
He
got?
He could do a parlay every week and sell that.
I wrote this down when it happened. Let me find it.
Are we in a simulation, guys?
We got it. He's a co-creator.
April 25th, 2024 at 9:53 p.m. I wrote this note down that says Packers 49. It's not going to focus. Packers prediction 34-27 off by 1 point. So if you want to make a separate bet and put either 35-27 or like how you can guess the correct score.
Yeah.
Put 34-28, 35-27, or 34-26 maybe. Mm-hmm. He said off by 1 point. He didn't specify what point.
Yeah, but the odds of it being 28 are better than
if you put like.
I'm gonna say 33-27.
All I'm saying is Packers minus 5.5. Right now the line is a pick'em game. Packers are favored minus 1.5.
Yeah.
This may be the one time I make a bet on my team just because like it was called way back in April. I would be stupid to not do it right now. So this is what I've been looking forward.
Jacob, watch this horribly backfire.
I put the house on it, man. What the hell?
Dad, get a call from.
I'm gonna have to move out
on Sunday. Guys, I lost the house.
He said Green Bay wins or no?
He said you're off by 1 point, but the prediction was that Green Bay were to defeat San Francisco 34-27. So he said off by 1 point. It could be 35-27. It could be 34-28, 34-26.
The odds are 12,000. If you put $1 in, you win $120.
Yep, for 34-27.
So if you put $10, oh my god, that's for 34-27.
I've been looking forward to this game all season.
If you do 33-27, that's 13,000.
What I'm saying
my boys are on a bye week this week, or I'd have bet on us to lose.
But you could put that in a parlay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that. Put a parlay with that.
You're right.
But also, like, you could make a few different bets. Put like $5 or $10 on all of the 1 point options. That 34-27, 35-27.
You can make
whatever.
A parlay with it.
You can. But if any of those hit, you're gonna make your money back times 100. So I don't know.
This dude's about to screw me over.
That may be.
I know it.
We're gonna lose everything.
Oh man.
No one will remember what they said that. He'll still be the mentalist. He was wrong, and I got screwed out of him.
That's why I said Packers -5.5. Just because if you want to, make one play, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
so how's the combined one looking this week?
The what?
The combined parlay.
It was plus 644. You talking about the one that we just made earlier? Yeah. So Jacob had the under Army Notre Dame. You had Charleston Southern. I had what did I say? Virginia.
Hey, we'll be here next week, and you'll call me a smart man. All right.
I may make that a single play. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even find where you picked the score, honestly. But anyways, we'll get on
Charleston
from
that.
That's crazy.
Don't even know the mascot, but give me him.
We'll move on from that. There are a couple more games to keep our eye on in the NFL this week. New England at Miami. That'll be a nice game to look at as far as the AFC East is concerned. Miami is 7-point favorites at home against the Patriots. I'll probably take that. I called last week that they would beat the Rams Monday Night Football, and I also said they would go ahead and cover against Las Vegas, the Raiders, this week. That happened as well. Miami might be finding a roll or finding a groove on a roll.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they have a good chance to keep that going against a team that's not great. It is a divisional game. New England seems to always have a low-scoring slugfest, but Miami is probably going to be too much. Give me the Dolphins by 7
That's
or more.
fair. Yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah.
Another interesting game. This is a 9.5 point swing. Commanders host the Dallas Cowgirls.
Give me the Commanders.
Yes.
-9.5 against Cooper Rush. And the Cowboys, no Dak Prescott, I'd say.
In Dak's words, we suck.
Yeah. That'll be something to look forward to. The Rams play host to the Eagles Sunday Night Football this week. The Eagles -3 on the road in LA.
I think Eagles will win.
Yeah.
I'd say so too.
I think they've excuse me. I think that the Eagles have they found their way compared to last year. Last year I don't know what the hell happened.
Last year they found their way early and then fell apart.
Yeah.
This year they struggled early.
Kansas City
which they've only lost 2 games this whole season.
They look good. They look good.
You know.
I'm glad to see them back. I like Jalen Hurts. So.
And then we will wrap it up this week in the NFL. Ravens at the Chargers. Monday Night Football. Baltimore favored by 3 on the road.
Give me Baltimore.
Give me Baltimore.
You think they bounce back?
Yep, absolutely.
Chargers got a big win this week against the Bengals. Now the Ravens just lost. Buy low, sell high. I'll take the Ravens too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ravens defense is pretty good. Their offense struggled. Don't think it happens twice in a row.
Mr. Jackson is going to come out with a vengeance.
Sorry, Mr. Jackson. Lamar is for real. Okay.
You're apologizing to
Lamar. Whatever.
Mr. Jax.
I said what I said.
Okay.
Wow.
So great weeks of football. Let's just see how it goes, man.
We're in the thick of it. It's almost over.
Just a quick thing before we wrap it up. Dalton Knecht scored 27 points.
Did he?
Versus the Pelicans.
Yep.
AD had 31. Dalton Knecht had 27.
Dalton Knecht, man.
And he had 19 the other night. And LeBron.
Have another triple double.
Yeah, I think in the post, I think it's like 15, 16. But in the post game,
I did see this.
LeBron was like, we leaned on Knecht.
Looked like he was back at Tennessee.
Yep.
That was cool to hear.
That was.
Okay, also, shout out to PJ Washington. He had 27 and 17.
How's Luka doing this year?
He's taking it back a little bit.
Didn't I have him winning MVP?
Yeah. I feel like we're 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in.
It's slow.
Time.
Jokic is going to win his 4th MVP. What would that be? He was going to win his 4th.
Has he won 3 already?
Yeah.
He won 2 in a row.
And then he's the reigning MVP.
Okay.
Because Joel won it after the 2, and then Nikola just won it again. He's playing better than he's been playing. And he has Westbrook he has to play with. So
I do like watching the Joker.
Me too. He's cold.
I hate when we got to play him in the playoffs, obviously, or any other time throughout the season because he just works us. But seeing the shots that he can make, seeing the passes he makes, he's a killer. You can't move him down low. Like
he's strong as shit.
If he gets the ball, he's got such touch around the rim. And he's kind of like Luka in the sense that he can get a shot off at any point from anywhere. Somehow, some way, just will it to go in. Like he's crazy to watch.
Yeah, and both those guys are strong as shit for their positions. You're not gonna move Jokic. If you put Wemby on Jokic, he'll back him down. But Wemby will probably block him because that's what he was doing. But he'll find another way to torch him.
Yeah.
He's not always gonna have to score 40.
He'll hit him with an up and under.
Yeah,
won't even see it coming.
Or he'll get Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot. That's like one of my favorite plays where. Jokic will have it and he'll act like he's shooting it, or like he does the form, and then Aaron Gordon just comes in, does a double clutch reverse.
Yeah,
but man, Dalton Knecht, he's killing it. Tennessee basketball's killing it. Igor Milicic, he's kind of risen as 1A, I think.
He is risen.
See, I feel like Lanier needs to be 1A.
Well, I was gonna say 1A, 1B.
Yeah,
because interchangeably. If Igor's out here not doing it, Lanier's going to step up. So Tennessee's looking good. We stay at number 10, I think, or number 11 in the country in basketball. Conference play in January.
Yeah,
I think we got to go to Syracuse in a few weeks.
Which Alabama lost to Purdue over the weekend. I think.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good time. I think Tennessee. We're a little underranked right now, but we'll prove.
Yeah.
How good we are when we play the good teams.
Like I said in a text last night, after the game, I was serving at work. Cam Carr came in, got to talk to him for a little bit.
Was he nice?
Yeah, he was really nice. Him and his dad. It was cool to see.
So he just
did you tell Pops to tell him to shoot the ball when he gets it?
No,
just casually just came in. He's like, I want barbecue after I just beat Austin.
Well, I mean, Coach Barnes comes in there all the time.
Did you tell him to get on the podcast?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to be a looking ass. But
how to network? Both of you are good at networking.
Yeah, no, but it was cool to see, and he said that they were going to the Bahamas this week because they got that Thanksgiving tournament next week.
Okay, cool.
I think it was they
lost to Purdue last year, didn't it?
Yeah, they play Virginia first. I think is what he said, and it's kind of like
Virginia basketball is about to fall off a map.
Think so?
Well, their coach retired right before the season started. He's like, I can't take
Tony
this
Bennett,
NIL crap anymore.
Yeah,
we'll see though. Got a lot to look forward to. College basketball is just now starting. NFL, we're about midway through, a little over. Things are heating up there. College football, couple weeks left, and it's over.
It's been a great season.
Postseason.
Appreciate it while you can.
Yeah,
a month from now will be the playoffs starting.
It's flown by.
Let's hope Neyland gets a playoff game.
I will sneak in there. I will find a way to.
I just want Tennessee to be in the playoffs, home away. I don't care. I just want us to get that chance.
Either way,
let us prove.
Let's just get in it.
Yeah,
let's just get in it.
But Anyways, to wrap it up, song choice of the week, boys. $1 Million Radio.
Want me to go first? All right. So I have to see what the name of the song is, but I've been listening to Royal Blood's newest album recently. And honestly, my favorite song on there is Shiner in the Dark.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that album. I like how they've changed their sound, originally from their first singles in their first album.
Yeah.
And even from How Can We Get So Dark? That album was really good. But
they're just finding ways to evolve.
Exactly. A lot of people didn't like Typhoons, in my opinion. I don't think
it was a little electronic for my liking.
Well, I personally like it though.
Yeah.
But this one seems like it's gone back to more of a bluesy style,
Yeah.
Mountains at Midnight is a great opener.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping the album would be kind of more like that though. It kind of veers off.
Well, see, I love their heavy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Like Lights Out, stuff like that. Yeah.
What about you, Jacob?
I'm gonna do Goliath by Carnival.
Oh goodness.
It's in 27/4. That's what the
Jesus.
That's what the measure is. Or you could say I think it's 3 7/4s and then 1 6/4 time signatures. But once you get it, you start playing to it.
Yeah.
You start to feel that meter. So yeah.
Mine would be from a 2005 album called Gasoline. Theory of a Dead Man.
Okay. I thought it was Seether.
Theory of a Dead Man.
Bad Girlfriend.
Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
I heard that come on work, or when I was at work the other day, and I was just like, I
thought you were about to say Bad Girlfriend for a second.
Bro, that's such a good song. Like,
dude,
I gotta sing that at the top of my lungs every time.
Dude, that 2000s dad rock is great because you got that. There's another one, Nickelback, Creed, but then also, 3 Days Grace.
Oh yeah.
You know how their original singer left? Did you know that?
I don't know.
Okay, if you like,
I'm not familiar.
About
with
a decade ago, the song "I Hate Everything About You."
Yeah.
So that singer, he left, and a new one came in, and the new one's really good, but the new one just came back, the old singer just came back, and the new one's still in there. So
really,
they're doing a dual vocal type deal.
That's interesting,
and I'm very excited. I think they're gonna go on tour and create new music. So
that'd be cool.
Oh hell yeah!
Well, it's been a good episode.
Absolutely. Episode 12, $1 Million Radio. Glad to have Griffin back in the studio.
Pleasure to be here.
Going to the game this weekend. That'll be interesting to see. Might try to do a reaction video after. See what happens not only with Tennessee this weekend, but what happens with all the other games. What's the playoff picture going to look like going into Sunday morning?
Do you know what time we play on Saturday?
It's noon.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's
noon
awesome.
o'clock.
Yeah, 2 good old.
I think it's 1 o'clock
for the last.
But
I think it's 1 o'clock. Yeah.
I got you.
Same.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a good blowout game.
Hopefully the sun's out. It's not too cold.
Yeah.
Just
might as well
beautiful
throw
day.
the black unis on one more time. Why not?
No,
I doubt it.
I think you gotta do that for playoffs.
Yeah.
If
That'd
you
be
get
cool.
in, I think you got
That'd be
to.
cool.
But yeah, we'll react to that game.
Absolutely. A lot to look forward to as we continue throughout the college football, NFL, college basketball season.
Even the NBA Cup started.
Yeah.
So
that'll do it for episode 12 of $1 Million Radio. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Doses.